I've been hiking in Ireland for years now, but there's one thing that's been on my adventure list for a long time, and it's getting my MS1. The MS1, or Mountain Skills 1, is a weekend course designed to teach you how to navigate, stay safe, and feel confident in the mountains, whether you're hiking with friends or setting off on a solo adventure like I love to do. And this weekend, I'm finally doing it right here in the Wicklow Mountains. I didn't get to talk to the camera much while out in the mountains, but in this video, I'm going to take you along for the weekend, show you what I got up to, what I learned, and why I think every hiker should consider it. So let's rewind to the start of day one.
Hey Erica.
Hi, how are you? So the very first part actually took place before we met on the mountains for the weekend with the 2-hour Zoom session. I later learned that not all instructors do it this way, but I actually think it's a great way to virtually meet your group ahead of time and cover some of the basic theory. We went through some of the basics of reading a map and some preparation tasks like checking weather forecasts, which I do think was easier and more efficient to do over a screen share, so I found this part really effective.
So you see this wee yellow road there, okay? So as I said on the Zoom call, the orange roads are the larger roads and then the yellow roads are the smaller roads. Do you remember that?
I don't know about that. Just by accident, that's all.
So we met at a car park in Lara, County Wicklow at 8:45 to start our first day out on the hills. Over the whole weekend, we didn't necessarily cover much ground, so even though it's 8-hour days, don't worry, you're not doing crazy distances. Before we even took a step onto the trail, we were gathered for a while going through some more basics of reading the map, like identifying the key features around us and setting the map. And then we started walking. We would continuously pick a new point on the map to walk to and then stop there for a while to cover some more theory or a new skill, and that's essentially how the whole weekend went. So on our next stop, we looked at our compasses. The ins and outs of using a compass is no longer part of the MS1 syllabus. It has been moved to MS2, but we ended up covering some of it anyway.
So you just done the 4 key, guys, and the 4 key is direction. This one. So have your arm parallel with that blue line. Magic, isn't it? Okay. In line with N. Is that N or NW? Oh, in line with N, okay?
N, yeah.
So we know now that's 25 degrees, yes?
Then we also learned about walking speeds and how to use them to estimate what distance you've covered over what time. This is something we used over and over for the rest of the day, and it's definitely something I'll continue to practice myself to really hone it and get my speeds really accurate.
If you're catching a flight from Ireland to Australia, where would you transit?
Dubai.
Dubai, yeah. That can be your second Dubai as well, by the way. Once you get to that turn, you just need to look up, look ahead, see if you can see
5 or 600 meters. So maybe around. Thank you.
And maybe one of you two both tied well.
You just tied very well. Oh yeah. No,
So to open this one, you have to go the other way, so push it away from you. With care, okay? Don't cut your hands. Okay? Well done, Erica.
Before lunch, we did some identifying of local fauna, which I had no idea was part of the course, but I love that I now know the names of so many more plants and trees and flowers and rocks. I'm armed with fun facts now for whenever I'm hiking with new people.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's 2 different kinds, is it?
Yeah. This you need. Line yourself there. When you're ready, you can go to our side. We're both spread out. Schist and granite. So granite is the most common rock in Wicklow, and schist is the second most common rock in Wicklow.
At around 12:30, we found a nice little spot to perch ourselves for lunch and just chat and take in the view. We were treated to such a beautiful day today. After lunch, the next was a rundown of what we should wear and pack on our hikes, and I volunteered to try out the 2-man shelter, followed by timing myself on stuffing it back into the sack.
So put it over you and under you. Tuck your feet in. Okay. Tuck everything in. Okay. Make sure you're all nicely tucked in.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure all the holes are covered and you're nicely snug in. Is it getting warm in there?
Yeah. Oh, did you start there?
It is just after lunchtime and it is going so well. I'm having so much fun doing this. We are splitting off in pairs to lead to a location, and it's my turn to not lead. So I walk behind, and when we get to the location, I have to try to figure out where it is on the map. And it's like a fun little game. It's like a fun little orienteering game, and I am kind of loving it, to be honest. Loving everything about this day so far. And finally, the rest of the afternoon looks the same, taking it in turn to navigate to a specific location on the map, while the others followed and then had to figure out exactly where on the map we ended up. This was to practice everything we'd learned that day on map reading, distance, contour lines, etc, etc. And that's a wrap on day 1. Good morning. It is day 2 of my Mountain Skills 1 course. Weekend course. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired after yesterday. But it is about 8:30 and I'm leaving the house in a minute. When I pack up my bag for the day, I thought I would show you what it is that I have packed for the weekend. Starting with my water bladder, which has about 2 litres in it, which should be plenty because it's not very strenuous. We're not actually covering much distance. Then I have a spare t-shirt and spare socks. A fleece, which I'm actually going to put on this morning because it's a little bit chilly. My little first aid kit. And a waterproof jacket. And then I've got my little foam sit pad, sun cream, some of my usual bits. A bin bag, lip balm. Oh yeah, my own compass. It's all in my 30-litre backpack, which is like more than enough space. This is probably only like half filled. And then for what I'm wearing, I've got my Kathmandu sun hoodie. These are my second-hand hiking trousers. They are a brand called Sherpa. And then I'm also wearing my brand new Darren Tough socks that I actually won at the weekend at a Leave No Trace event, and I love them so far. They're really nice. They're merino wool, so they're probably the fanciest socks that I own. And then I'll wear my Keen hiking boots. Oh, and my packed lunch. Okay, Now I just have to get ready and head out for the day. Day 2 started from the same spot but took us in a slightly different direction, following a portion of the Wicklow Way for most of the day, which was absolutely stunning despite the slightly lesser weather this time. The first thing we covered was safety and navigation when it comes to river and stream crossings, followed by a few more rounds of our little game of one person leading and two people following. I was up first this morning, so this is me making a plan with my map and compass with all my new navigation skills. Once we'd made our way high enough, we did some work on identifying features in the real world and matching them to our maps. Shout out to the low-hanging clouds making our visibility much worse today, so we could really challenge ourselves.
So tell me what you see. This first kind of loops up like a shoulder. What happens next? Don't even look at your maps, just focus on the spur. See the line of trees? Yeah. Steep or not steep? Where the line of trees?
And then it was time for a brand new skill in pacing. Using a 100-meter stretch of flat trail, we counted out our paces. Mine were coming to an average of 72, and then we used that number to track out different distances. I was honestly surprised by how accurate it was between the whole group. It was really fun quizzing each other on how far we'd walked based on our own pacing. The hard part is doing the maths on the spot to figure out how many paces would 70 meters be or 45 meters. Our instructor gave us the top tip of doing up a little table with these figures, laminating it and keeping it with our timing card, which would definitely make it a lot easier.
Is that some kind of geocache thing, is it?
It's just people leave stuff behind.
Oh, if they have excess stuff there.
Our lunch spot today was in Brusher Gap Hut along the Wicklow Way, where we also then did some more compass work to learn how to take a bearing from the map, followed by us learning how to follow a bearing in real life.
So remember, if you want more accuracy, you need to use the ruler, okay? Not the roamer, the millimeter ruler. It's on that hand, so I'll use my right hand, and just like, you just need to stand still. Does that make sense? To get it started, just turn around and face me.
The rest of the day was spent practicing this on top of everything else we'd already learned over and over, putting everything into practice, problem solving, and navigating off trail. And then that was a wrap. All we had to do was follow the trail back down to the car park. So it is now a couple days later because I didn't expect how tired I would be after the 2 full days. 2 full days out in the fresh air in the mountains was amazing, but it tires you out. And also the fact that you're taking in new information, your brain gets tired too. I think we forget how tiring it is to learn something new from scratch. But I just thought I'd sit down and wrap up this video with some of my reflections and main takeaways from the 2-day course. So I can genuinely say that I've come away with so much tangible new information and skills, but even beyond that, the less tangible part of it is just how much more confident I genuinely feel if I'm out in the mountains and I've gone off trail. I now have the skills to navigate my way back, provided I have a map and a compass, which are 2 pieces of kit I'll definitely be adding to my hiking backpack for all hikes going forward. I typically do rely on my phone, but you never know when you might run out of battery or if you haven't got a map downloaded and you lose signal. So compass and maps will be my friend from now on. I think the most useful skill that I learned was how to properly use a compass. I honestly just had never learned that before. So being able to use a compass to navigate, take a compass bearing and follow a compass bearing, that's a great skill to have. And obviously with that, being able to read a map properly, I realized that I must have learnt a lot of it at school at some point. I'm guessing geography class, but because I'd never practiced it, I didn't realize I had that information somewhere in the back of my brain. So it was really great to actually relearn all of that to how to properly read a map. A surprisingly tricky element, but one that will be really helpful once I nail it down, was timing our different walking speeds in order to calculate distance. So we've given a little timing card. So this little guy, which shows you how long it should take you to walk these distances, depending on how many kilometers per hour you're walking. I think I did get better at it even over the course of the 2 days. I'm definitely still not super consistent, but I think with practice, I'll really be able to just start walking at a speed and know in my head that, okay, I'm currently walking a 4 kilometer per hour speed. And that kind of feels like a bit of a magic trick, but it'll be super helpful for navigating and knowing exactly what distance I've covered. The other part of that we learned was counting our paces to know exactly what our pace is per 100 meters, which is a much easier one to nail down, and my pace seems to be pretty consistent. So that'll be a really handy one to have in the toolkit as well. Another thing that's kind of one of my favorite little parts of the weekend was just discovering a new trail, new areas that I hadn't hiked to before, which is kind of mad because it's literally just down the road from me. But it was really lovely, and I loved that we were along part of the Wicklow Way. That's been on my bucket list for years, but it always felt out of reach. I think with these new skills and some of the adventures I've been on recently, it feels very doable now. So the Wicklow Way has gone to the top of my hiking bucket list, I think. So stay tuned, maybe I'll do that sometime soon. So all in all, I definitely think the MS1 is worth doing for anyone who is serious about their hiking. I don't know how to kind of frame it otherwise, but anyone who wants to really start challenging themselves, I think it's really great for solo hikers to add a little bit of confidence because you're out there by yourself. If anything happens, you don't have other people to rely on. Obviously, it's worth doing if you want to go all the way down the track of becoming a mountain leader or guiding group hikes. But all in all, I think it is a great investment for your safety, your independence, and for a bit of fun at the end of the day. Speaking of investment, I paid €160 for my entire MS1. So that included a 2-hour Zoom call a couple of days before, 2 full days out on the mountain with the instructor, some handy little discount codes for some outdoor stores, which I will definitely be taking advantage of, and then a couple little resources here. So I got a copy of the Irish Mountain Log for some light reading. I got this little booklet on safety on mountains, which is actually really interesting. It covers a load of different things from walking in winter, camping in the hills, sanitation. So I'll be definitely having a proper read through this. So I've just spotted, I opened it on the page on ticks. So really great information in there. Our official mountain skills logbook. So this has detail at the front of the actual curriculum. So all of the things that we would have covered throughout the weekend. It also has the curriculum for MS2. So I can look ahead and see information on MS2. And then it has a section for actually logging. So if you go further on and do your mountain skills assessment, you have to have logged a certain number of hikes, and this is where you do that. And then finally, a little certificate of completion, which is quite cute. Maybe I'll add it to the wall somewhere up here. And I will be going on to do my MS2 as well next. I don't have a date set for it yet, but I'm hoping to not wait too long. So there will hopefully be a video on that sometime soon too. If you've got any questions about the whole weekend course, leave them in the comments and I will get back to you if I can, or if I can't, I'll point you towards the professionals who can. And if you want more hiking and slow adventure content like this, don't forget to subscribe. I hope you have a joyful week and I'll catch you in the next adventure.